Welcome back to Block TV. This is Trader's Take, where we dive into the charts to check what is going on with the crypto market. And joining us, as always, of course, is our own technical analyst, the future teller, the fortune maker, the man, Joe Saz. Joe, thanks for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure, Jonah. How's it going?
Pretty good for me, but not so good for the crypto markets. Now, before we jump into that and you give us your take on why you think the crypto markets are not doing as well as they should be doing, let's take a look at my call from yesterday. Listen, I understand it's a dangerous game. Your name might be the fortune teller and the fortune maker. My real name's Danger, all right? I can handle it. It's okay if you can't handle it. It's okay. If you don't have it to go for that 699, listen, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the market doesn't get there, but if it does, time. Yeah, so the market definitely got there. That was me and you discussing yesterday what would happen if the market hit 699. I said I would short it and it's going to drop straight down. Joe, who was right here?
You hit the nail on the head there, man. We busted through 7,000. Well done.
All right, so show us exactly what happened. What caused that drop below 7, and what was the market's reaction from there?
All right, well, this is where things get complicated. All right, so we have relative to this candle. All right, so I just had to scroll this over for a sec so that we can see this actual candle's volume relative to other candles. So it's really not that much. Let's see, 0.35%, 0.79%. So yeah, that's about right. But then we have a massive candle, and it makes this look like nothing. And just about everything else. So we have our massive sell-off, 1.82%, with quite a bit of wick space here, so maybe 2.25% or so. Big move, man. Fear just took over, and I was just watching sellers flip out, buyers flip out. I mean, I saw buyers buying a ton of Bitcoin, sellers selling 50 packs, buyers buying the same 25 packs, and it's been really weird, Yona. I mean, like I said, I think. I think I might have to change gears here. We're sitting in a very dangerous territory, but this is like the one most dangerous thing about Bitcoin. The second that everyone's looking left, something happens over here to the right. Everyone's expecting this to crash, and it really looks terrible. I mean, we have a dump, we have a consolidation. This is what I hate to see. I don't like spending any time in the wick space after a dump. This is basically guaranteeing to me that we're going to have another leg down, and that's not something that I want to hear, or say. But that's basically how Bitcoin works in pumps and dumps. If you don't, start a retrace and create, kind of a W curve, then you're going to, and you spend time in the wick space, you're probably going to find a lower low than that wick. So I'm expecting us to break down a bit further, and I just don't really like to say that on a day where we have a 9 buy candle. I mean, man, we've had 2 duds. We had this dud here that nuked a ton of people, 12% move to the downside, a dud here, which nuked a ton of people. So, I mean, there's got to be a 9 that plays out. If we have 3 9s in a row that don't play out, that's going to be a pretty big anomaly, in my opinion. And I'm not even talking about like a 1 to 4 candle pullback. Like, we need a 9 that really acts out and brings some strength to the market. And I've been doing a lot of thinking, and remember how I was talking about smart money could be entering Bitcoin, and the theory had a lot to do with buyers adding liquidity to the order book. In other words, adding these orders right here.
Yeah.
So part of me is thinking that it is smart money. Part of me is thinking that we might have a ways down to go, though. I'll have to figure out how better to elaborate that. But I think that there is still smart money stacking the book. We're obviously experiencing right now 68.52, a pretty interesting local low. We're in a pretty steep downtrend after a pump, full retrace plus some extra salt on there. So I mean, this is just like it's getting ugly. It looks terrible. It feels terrible, and the trend is terrible. So the question is, does Bitcoin play by the rules here, or does Bitcoin flip on everyone? And in my history, Bitcoin tends to flip on everyone. So I'm gonna say that I don't really have I have a meltdown point below 6K where I'm pretty sure the market's just gonna extremely overreact. Below maybe 6,500 is kind of like a orange to red zone, and below 6K is kind of a red zone. But you know, I still think that it's possible we bounce. I said the other day that I bet that we're going to hit 8,200 before we hit 65. Right now, that's not looking very likely, but I'm going to stick to it for now. It's tough, but if we do take another leg down, then we're probably looking at competing with the 65.57 low and probably creating a new low. I mean, it's going to be crazy. We had something similar happen when we broke down through the descending triangle back a while back when we broke down from 10K or so. So we had a situation where we hit 77.06 or something, and then we hit like 77.12. That was kind of the double bottom, and we bounced all the way up to, you know, something reasonable. I can't remember the exact price. We're actually dumping right now. Man, someone just sold like a 33 pack, 50 pack. Wow, we're jumping again right now. So look, so you can see all these sellers. All right, there's some buyers, a flash of green. Let me minimize this for a sec. 2 packs, dust. We got a lot of stuff going on here. 10 pack, 8 pack, 12 pack. Bought, dust being sold, 3 pack, 4 pack sold, 5, about an 8 pack bought. So we're seeing a lot of competition here. Buyers are stepping up. I mean, these are big packs of Bitcoin here, and you can see sellers stacking the book. They're chasing the book with some decent liquidity, 11 pack, 20 pack, 17 pack. We have on the buy side low liquidity chasing the book. This is a very uncertain market. 10 pack bought, 12 pack. This is a little dust sold there, 6 pack. So I mean, this is getting a little out of hand. So right now, I think we're competing. Here's our leg down. You know, as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, it looks like it stalled out and lost some strength. Let's see how much Bitcoin was transacted in that candle alone. 655 Bitcoin on Coinbase Pro, 166 on the next candle. You know, we're only a minute into this candle, and we're already actually we're in the wick space. You know, this is where I hate to be after a dump. Full retrace from what was a 227 Bitcoin pump, a full green candle. I'm talking no shadow, no wick. You know, another 35 pack or so sold. Wow, another 25 pack. These are crazy sellers right now. And they could be smart. What I'm saying is that these sellers are not playing around. This is extreme FOMO. That 35 Bitcoin pack, you know, that's a pretty significant amount. So anyways, we're just watching this thing. This is welcome to what I do all day. It gets boring though.
It doesn't, Joe. It definitely doesn't seem boring. Since we started filming about 5 minutes ago, we started at 6.8. It's already at 6.73. It's marking down now. What is this more? Is this showing more that the bears are just pulling harder, or is it the bulls just simply don't have the fight in them to keep up a fight?
So yeah, that's kind of what I was going to try to explain is I think what could be happening is the fact that bulls are only loading up the order book. That might be a sign of much more exhaustion than we could possibly imagine. Like I thought bulls were exhausted at 10K, and then we thought, you know, I thought bulls were exhausting themselves further at 8K. You know, we're definitely headed down. And then 7K gave way, but then we had a 40% pump. So basically, the long story short there is I think it's very possible that this could be full-blown exhaustion. And all they have left is the ability to put orders in the order book. I mean, that would be pathetic. Price would be spiraling down from here, and it seems to want that. So I think for now it might be time to just, you know, let this dust settle. We've kind of we've consolidated a little bit here. Normally on pumps and dumps, when you get like, you know, this, you know, 2-minute window, 3-minute window, usually it doesn't get too much worse. It staggers, it stabilizes for a little while, and then we get our action back, or you know, none. But in this case, I think bears have been completely wiping out the bulls. They've been showing up in numbers, as you saw. We were watching 20, 30, 50 packs fly across the screen, sellers, big, serious sellers. And now we need some big, serious buyers. I mean, this candle's turning into a big reversal, so we're probably headed up to 6,900 pretty soon. This would be a good long opportunity in my eyes. But I'll see your 699 again, 6,999 again here pretty soon. You know.
Well, here, listen. Should I go 2 for 2 here? This is my call right now. All right, we're gonna get down. You ready for this? We're gonna get down to 5.5. All right, people are gonna be bleeding everywhere. There's gonna be anarchy in the streets, and then it's gonna be called the Christmas miracle. You're gonna see it come Christmas Day. We're gonna shoot up, boom, to 8.5. Are you ready for it?
Let's just shoot to 8.5 now. I'm okay with that.
Listen, if only, but we need to wreck some of those shorters. We need the books kind of need to clear out. You'll see that's how it'll go. Joe, Christmas is coming. Tell me what else is happening in the market.
Yeah, so let's take a look across the board a little bit. Well, let's look at dominance, which we haven't done in a long time. This is actually looking quite fantastic. And this is actually looking good for Bitcoin, but actually the implications of this are pretty bad for the wider market space. If Bitcoin is crashing and altcoins are losing dominance, then that means capital flight is happening in Bitcoin, as we just saw right now. We saw a ton of sellers dumping their bags, and altcoins are losing dominance, which means altcoiners are selling to Bitcoin to dump their bags. Or in some cases selling directly to fiat. In this case, BNB I don't think has that option. Litecoin XRP might on certain exchanges like Coinbase Pro. But you know, this is actually looking worse to me. The fact that we're struggling to that Bitcoin dominance is going up in the prices, or the dominance of altcoins and the prices. So let's take a look at the prices. We don't have ETH up here, but let's take a look at ETH. Let's start with XRP. Wow. Oh fudge. Oof. Man, well, here's the new low, and now we have another wick space to fill. This is going to get dangerous. We're on a 9 buy, and keep in mind, Bitcoin and Ethereum are on 9 buys today. This is like a bloody ass Tuesday. We have 5.4% moves back to back, a little bit more wick space here. We've now entered the teens of XRP. This, you know. I need to go celebrate. I need to go celebrate because this is such a garbage coin to me. But you know, to the people that are supporting this, I would say you're probably supporting the wrong thing. This is looking pretty ugly. We've created a new low. I mean, this thing is just in free fall territory. Not really. If I was to connect wicks to wicks, I just want to see if we have anything supportive here. I mean, we have a point of contact, but I mean, I can't even see this as support. Nah, I think this thing is just, this is probably one of the more manipulated assets, and if they can't keep this thing manipulated, then and the market's just selling, it's going to get uglier. Long term, let's just take a quick look at the weekly XRP. I just want to see this. Wow, this is just looking terrible. It's just dangling in the middle of nowhere. The last time we had a price in this range was November 2017. You know, this thing started trading on Kraken middle of the year 2017. So our data is you know, relatively useful. I don't like to go back too far because I think crypto has a pretty short memory. But we're dangling right here in outer space, and you can see there's really nothing locally for us to grab onto. So I think we're going to continue to make lower lows with XRP. And right now, my lower target is going to be the 12-cent range, 13-cent range. And I mean, this is kind of nice for me to see. You know, I'm not a huge fan of XRP, and I think it's one of the most deceitful cryptocurrencies out there. So I'm happy to see stuff like this crash. Now I know I spent a lot of time talking trash about them. All right. Ethereum on a 9 buy daily. Let's just take a look at the weekly real quick. I know we haven't done this in a long time. Weekly is looking, you know, we have something in here, but we're nearing a full retrace of everything that happened since we broke out in December of 2018, where we found our low. So wow, this is crazy. We're pretty much at a 75 or so, maybe even 80% retrace. Let's just look at low to high. Low of 84, high of 364. So and our current price is $130. So we've made a pretty significant retrace, $84 down from 350. I mean, this thing's like near 80%. So I would say this is pretty dangerous. We now have some overhead resistance. I don't know why I drew this. This was kind of supportive. This was resistance. A little bit of a fumble here, but anyways, we made it through resistance breakdown. I think this thing's probably headed down. I would probably say this trend is flipped. This trend line would now be, maybe overhead. You can't even do it. I mean, this is such a tight move to the downside. So anyways, Ethereum's looking a little trashy. I'm hoping for the balance. I mean, I love my sequential nines, but I gotta say, man, if sequential nines like keep failing me, I gotta move on to another indicator. I was gonna say another woman, but Bitcoin isn't the only thing out there. All right, so Litecoin USD. Let's just take a quick look. Whoa, yeah, that's sharp. Another 8% move to the downside. We have a pretty long-standing descending channel here. Now, let me draw a line through the middle of this because this is something that I like to do. You can often find cryptocurrencies, and I don't really experience this much in stocks, but I don't really look at stocks all that much. But we spent a good deal of time in the top half of this descending channel. So I'm kind of curious to see how we react to the bottom end of it, and let's see, where is zero? Down here somewhere. So I mean, this thing looks like it's nosediving. 9 buy, we're already in negative 2.51%. Now keep in mind, I did say that this 9 buy was not a 9 buy that you want to front run, nor is it a 9 buy that you want to get into right away. So I'm a little concerned for the market altogether. This is just, Yona, I gotta say, man, this is looking just disgusting. And oftentimes what happens when this looks disgusting is people hope for the best, and next thing you know, you have a ton of people getting shredded, and people losing money, then panic selling, and then you have smart money, even smarter money, buying up that whole bloodbath. So I think I'm going to need to open a short, maybe let this dry off a little bit, and then open up a short to kind of hedge my HODL stack and stuff like that. I think it might be time to start giving up the moon boy dreams for the next 2 to 3 months. But hopefully the halvening is, hopefully we get a reversal soon. Hopefully the halvening, is not a halvening where we have our first, halvening that forces miners to pull plugs or something like that. But we definitely have some stuff on the horizon. It's like, but we've been waiting for so long. 20K all-time high, early 2018, late 2017. It's just like, man, I feel like Bitcoiners have really had a rough ride, even hodlers, So I would just hope that we can get some sort of Christmas miracle out of this. But right now, everything's looking terrible. And again, this is when things look terrible. This is when people hope that they don't. Or that something will flip, and it usually doesn't. So I think I need to start facing reality here, and again opening up some shorts to hedge my HODL, and maybe dump my moon boy dreams temporarily.
Somber, and somber, both of them. News from Joe Saz. It's not looking good. It's not sounding good either. But still, fingers crossed for a Christmas miracle. Let's hope that we don't all end up with coal in our socks. All right, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. Let's hope that good things are on the turn up, because right now things are looking down. For all our viewers at home, if you want to see more about blockchain and cryptocurrency, hopefully better news, check us out at blocktv.com.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.